thought in this time together, I just wanted to do a little catch up, a little ramble. I hope you're okay. If you follow any of my videos and channel that are still in the early stages, although there's quite a lot of videos out there, but I don't mind. It's my way of distracting myself from perhaps stresses of the days, and I hope it helps you too. Just simply calming videos that create, I suppose, a circuit breaker if you're feeling stressed or anxious or can't sleep. So I do hope they help a little just by making them. It helps me, creates a circuit breaker and takes me out of my headspace a little. I was reminded recently, and it's something that I'm quite guilty of, and that is placing, I suppose, boundaries or restrictions on myself and thinking that they're real, and they're not. And I just wanted to share those couple of thoughts with you. Sometimes when you get busy, or when I get busy, there's a difference between a productive busy and just a very busy mind, and all of the targets or goals or timescales that we put on ourselves, making our workload or a day so much harder than it has to be. And I think it's important when we can to remember that we can create our own reality, and a lot of what we think is real or urgent or important actually isn't, and we need to be kind and patient to ourselves and start to recognize when our mind races too quickly, when too many restrictions we place on ourselves. We probably already recognize the expectations that others have on us. So by adding our own thoughts and concerns and restrictions on top of those, it can often just simply be too much. So I'm not here to preach in any way, and the things that I do are always certainly the last year and a half has been very challenging. But we're working hard and looking forward to the Christmas preparations that lay ahead of us. And being in such a nice old building, it really sets the scene. There's a lot of work involved and an awful lot of cleaning in an old pub, and particularly at this time. So that's kept me busy, as well as I'm working on 2 books, one fiction, one non-fiction. So the fiction one I try and push along where I can, sort of 500, 600 words several times a week. I'd like to be able to do a bit more, but again, that would be probably pushing myself a little bit too far at this stage. And also a non-fiction book, which is sort of like a journal or a notebook. And again, if you followed me, you'll know I absolutely love paper, notebooks, anything. I love any excuse to be writing lists, ticking them off. So I thought I would write my own non-fiction journal book, which I'm enjoying doing. And probably about 3/4 of the way through, and then of course there's a few images to go in, and then the editing. I've got a few working titles for them both at the moment. I think I'm nearer settling on the non-fiction than I am the fiction. The fiction book is drifting in a couple of directions, and I just need to keep it going or rein it in, and I hope that the ideas that I have, one, fall into place, and secondly, I can get them onto paper. Because if you are a writer, you'll know there's obviously quite a lot involved, but the most important thing is to get the words down on the paper, and sometimes that's not as easy as it sounds. Anyway, I've printed off some bits that I'd like to read for myself. Things that may help with, as I say, my mental health. And I suffer a lot with anxiety and social anxiety, and certainly self-criticism. And I know I need to be more patient and kinder, possibly to myself at times, and those around to possibly too. And it'll be another excuse to write a few more notes and a few lines in my journal, as I like to keep check of how I'm feeling. Often I gauge it with a number. I stop for a moment and pause and think to myself, how am I feeling from 1 to 10? How fast is my mind racing from 1 to 10? And depending where the number is, it's a good reflection. I need to pause, take stock, take a moment before I begin with the day again. It's just a handy way of checking in on myself. Anyway, I won't ramble on for any longer. I just wanted to simply have this little catch-up chat, as I haven't done one in a little while. And I want to thank you for subscribing, and I really do hope that these videos that I know I record in sepia, because I find a lot of ASMR videos quite bright and stark on the eye, and I use them to relax myself, and I'm a huge advocate of ASMR. And with these brief chats or product shares that I do, and particularly I suppose the oldie worldy or page flipping ones that I've been doing more recently, I've really enjoyed, and will probably do hopefully more of those. And if I can also find the time to record some lovely old footage in my old pub, because there's some really lovely nostalgic pieces to capture, then I'll enjoy sharing those with you too. Thank you for joining me. Please take care of yourself, and I'll see you very soon.